All right, good afternoon, writers. So today's lesson is going to be about how we can stretch out the steps when writing our how-tos. So yesterday we learned about transitional words and how they can help our readers smoothly read through the steps, and we then added them to our writing plans. And today we are going to take our plans and stretch out the parts step by step and add details that are needed to teach our audience. So we're going to take a look at that. So I'm going to look at my planning sheet, and then I'm also going to be using our stretching out the steps, our writing papers. Let's take a look at these. So I have my planning sheet that I have done. We went through, we used our brainstorming, we put them in the boxes and planned out the 4 main parts. And then yesterday we went through and we ordered them first, next, then, and last using those transitional words. And those actually transfer over right into our actual writing. So we will start each of our steps with that transitional word just to kind of help our reader know that we're transitioning from one step over to the other. So when we are stretching out these steps, we want to look at the part that we've planned and we want to walk our reader through it step by step by step. So taking teeny, teeny, tiny steps, because I can't just jump in and say, pull your two laces tight. That reader is going to have no idea what I'm talking about. They are going to think, all right, does she want me to pull them tight with my teeth? Am I pulling the two laces towards the ground? Am I pulling them out of the shoe? They're going to have no idea. So we've got to use lots and lots of details and walk them in kind of like baby steps through this, because we know how to tie our shoes, or most of us do, or have a general idea, but think if our reader has never even tried to tie their shoes before. We have got to walk through their footsteps and put ourselves in their shoes and really think, what do they need to know if they have never even tried or seen this done before? All right, so when I look at the first part, I see pull two laces tight. All right, so I've got to plan this out, and I really need to stretch it out, think of lots of details. So I want to think, you definitely have to use your hands. So I can say put one shoelace in each hand and pull them towards you, because I know if I pull them up towards me, it's going to make it really tight, to make all of the laces tight. So that's walking them through that step detail by detail by detail and really stretching it out. So we took it from 4 words, pull two laces tight, and stretch it out into a nice, very detailed sentence for our reader. And I'm going to do the same thing with my next 2 steps. So let's take a look at what I've kind of drafted up together. So for the first one, we took first pull two laces tight on our planning sheet, and we moved it over here. It says, first put one shoelace in each hand and pull them towards you to make all of the laces tight. The next step over here literally is the next. So we said cross the laces over, pull the laces through. So to stretch that out, we can say take one lace and cross it over the other to make an X. That kind of helps our reader get that visual that it should be in an X shape. Then pull the lace that is on top through the bottom hole of the X. So they'll know to flip it over through the bottom hole, and then pull tight. Because if we leave out that detail, pull tight, that loop that we just made is going to kind of just flop down on the shoe, and nothing's going to stay, and their shoe is certainly not going to stay on. All right, the third part was our then. So make 2 bunny ears, pinch the bunny ears and cross, and then pull one through. So when I stretched that one out, I said, make a bunny ear shaped loop with each lace. Because if we just say make bunny ears, someone may have no idea what that even means when tying your shoes. They may have never even heard of that trick. So make a bunny ear shaped loop with each lace is a much better detail to help them visualize it. So now you're pinch the bunny ears at the bottom. There's a detail right there. They have to know to pinch them at the bottom. Otherwise, their tie is not going to work very well. And cross over to an X. So This is kind of like the step that they just did above, so hopefully this is a little familiar to them. Pull the top bunny ear through the bottom hole of the X and pull, all right? So we could also maybe even add a note on there, pull through like you did in the first step, or pull through like you did in the step beforehand, okay? So see how we took just these simple notes over here and I stretched them out into a step-by-step detailed sentence. All right, so now we've got to do the last part, and I am going to need some help with this last part because there's only 2 words. It says pull tight. So what I want you to do is turn and talk with your partner. How can we write and stretch out the last part of our piece? So remember that last part just says last pull tight. That was all we put in our plan. So I want you to take about 30 seconds, talk with your partner, think about it. How can we stretch that out for our last detail of our writing piece? Okay, go ahead and turn and talk. All right, good. Go ahead and turn back towards me. I heard a lot of you giving really, really great sentences and a whole lot of details that you were pulling out from your knowledge that you know about tying your shoes to put that pull tight part into a detailed sentence that we could put in our writing. So here's kind of what I heard. So we can add it here. So pull the bunny loops tight to secure your tie. So we added in there the bunny loops part because that was important for them to know exactly what they were pulling tight. And then we put a reason in there too. So I heard someone use that lovely word secure. So pull the bunny loops tight to secure your tie, okay? And that kind of leaves it there. Our goal was to teach them how to tie your shoes. You end our writing with to secure your tie. So the goal was met there. So what I want you to do today when you are writing is I want you to transfer over your plan that we did yesterday, that we've added our transitional words to. So get the one that has your transitional words, and I want you to transfer it over to your how-to writing sheet and plan out each part step by step using lots and lots of details. So I am going to be walking around and looking with you, and we're going to be conferring a little bit. And I am going to be looking for a student to share that has stretched out all of their steps and who has added details to each of their steps in their writing paper. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for as I'm walking around. So they're going to be our person who gets to share this afternoon. All right, so off you go.